I thought we played the last 10 minutes really hard. I thought we did some really good things the last 10 minutes. I just didn't think we played to our level the first, 25. So I think that's where we got behind. But, Vegas is very talented, and with all the stuff that was going around there, that it was a little different for our guys. But hopefully we'll bounce back and play well Saturday.
It's patience the word this week, Coach, because, you guys could be more opposite than Wyoming. They'd like to take their eye out of the ball sometime.
Oh, they're going to do that. They're last in about every offensive category as far as pace and offensive rebounding and scoring. So, but that's the way it's always been. So, the clock works against them a little bit, but we'll see. They got a good team. They got probably the best guard in the league. Josh Adams has played at a high level. He's exciting to watch. Plays really, really hard, and Larry's done a good job with their team. And they're probably the youngest team, might be one of the youngest teams in the country.
You talked about Josh being maybe the best guard in the league. His last two games, there's two season lows in scoring.
Right.
Is that a little bit of hitting the wall? Is that a little bit of just finally him maybe not having great games? Or
I don't know. He doesn't play for me.
Okay,
So, I mean, I don't.
Have you seen anything on film that they're doing different with him?
No, he's just more aggressive. I mean, last year when you have Larry Nance, who starts for the Lakers now, and you have Graybo, and you have Cook. They had some really good players, and he kind of was just their defensive player. So he did a lot of things. He's athletic. He's shooting the ball well. I just think he has more on his plate. He just is very talented. He's being used differently. I don't know if he's hitting. I don't know any of that because I don't.
But when you say you just want to get better,
Mm-hmm.
where's your focus at? As far as
Well, we can't give people 80 points. I think every day you got to get better. When we play really good defense, like I thought we played really good defense on the 3-point line this game, but you can't give them 27 foul shots. You can't give them 24 points off of turnovers, even though we only had 14 turnovers. You can't let a team like that get runouts. So I think we got to improve on that. I think we've improved every little facet of our defensive game, and when we do what we're supposed to do and in tune and everything, I think we're really good. When we have slippage or inconsistency or immaturity, then I think that we lead all that back into play, and that's when we don't guard and get stops. So it's hard to get your transition game, which is really good for you when you don't get stops, and you're not going to win a lot of games if you give 80.
From kind of a mindset standpoint, talking to the team and at practice today, do you get the sense that your guys left UNLV thinking, wow, that's a really good team, or wow, we could have, I mean, I guess, do they leave that game thinking we could have won that game, or do they leave that game thinking, wow, UNLV's pretty good when they want to be? Maybe a little both. I guess, did they come out of that game defeated?
My team defeated?
Yeah.
I don't think my team ever gets defeated. If my team got defeated, we'd been struggling. We wouldn't have went 3-1 to start, 3-0 to start the league play. So I think you respect every opponent, but I don't think our guys are sitting in there going, damn, they're so much better than us, we can't beat them. I don't think my guys, to be honest with you, I don't think my guys say that even when a team is better than them.
Do you think, along those same lines, do you think it might make them think like, hey, you know what, we need to tighten up the focus here after something like that happens?
Man, we're 3-1.
No, I know
mean,
that.
maybe like we're 0-4.
No, I'm not trying to say it like that. I'm just saying like when they saw the talent on the court, and they probably feel like, wait, we can.
Okay, so let's go down their roster and we talk about talent. Are we talking about paper talent or where they're ranked? Or are we talking about sheer talent? Because, I mean, if you want to go basketball talent, player for player, I mean, I don't know how much greater talented they are. How many all right. How many championships have they won since the inception of the league? None. How many times have everybody said they had more talent than everybody?
A lot,
Well, I mean, is that paper talent or is that real talent? No, I mean, is it really talent if it doesn't work out and you don't play to your level? Is it really they're that much better than guys? Because I've had a lot of guys here that are playing the NBA, and there's a lot of guys that played there that aren't playing the NBA, that were supposed to play in the NBA.
That's true.
So I I don't get into the talent thing. Do they look good in the airport? Hell yeah. Do they look good when they got their uniform on? Yeah. Can they run and jump? Are they long? Yeah. But I mean, it's two different things. Like when I grew up, talent was if you were athletic. When you grew up with me, athletic meant you could play baseball, you could play football. It wasn't if you could jump and touch the top of the square or how fast you could run. That was talent. That was being an athlete. Now it's if you run and jump. So their best athlete played 5 minutes and got in foul trouble. So they're super talented, but I think my guys are talented too.
Coach, when you take a look at this stretch, next 3 games, how do you keep them focused on who's the next team on the floor?
Well, I think our guys understand if they don't play with intensity and effort and energy, then anybody can beat them. So I can bring up scenarios that we've had this year that they can understand that. But I think they understand where they are. I think they understand what they have to do. I think they understand what's ahead of them. But, if their whole deal, my whole team's deal is consistency. If they can be consistent, then they'll win a lot of games. If they're not consistent, then we'll struggle in some games.
The back-to-back of these two teams is a unique spin because UNLV was trying to speed you guys up, and Wyoming, I think may try and speed you up a little bit with what they do, but overall their tempo is so much different than UNLV's.
Mm-hmm.
Your guys understand that they're about to see quite a different in terms of the tempo, and
Yeah, I think every team, they understand that every team, when we go over personnel and go over everything with them film-wise, I think they understand that. I don't think that's hard to. I think you can watch enough tape or watch 4 or 5 minutes and tell the difference of how Wyoming plays and UNLV plays.
Was it awkward at all having the dad of one of your players' name come up for the UNLV job, an opponent in your league?
What do you mean by awkward, JP?
Well, I mean, potentially you could have the dad of one of your players eventually coaching against you.
Well, unless they come up with a lot of money to pay him, I don't see him coaching. So, all I know is Elijah plays for me. I got great respect for Mike. I think he's one of the – he wouldn't have had the Lakers job or the Cavs job. But, yeah, it's flattering. I think it's great for him. But, it has nothing to do with my program. So, I don't know how awkward it is. I think it's flattering to him. I'm happy for him.
Coach, are you a little concerned about our bench, about look at the scoring difference?
I like that you always say our bench. I like that. You're part of. I like both feet in.
Yeah.
I like that about you.
Yeah.
That's why you're my guy. It's our bench, my thing. I'll have to call you, ask you some substitution patterns for our team. Yeah, I am. I really am. I don't know, guys, if it's just I don't give them enough time or they're just afraid to make the wrong play. I think Dane's come in and he's been a little bit more confident because I think he's got some confidence. I think Anthony's come in and made some shots. I just don't know if I played them enough to be as productive as some other teams, if that makes any sense. UNLV played some guys a little bit more minutes and they were able to get more looks. Like Anthony Mass came in and hit a big shot the other night right off the bench at our home game in the second half. Didn't even play the first half. So, I don't know if it's because they just don't get the opportunities that other people do. I think that's what it is. But I'm playing 3 guys close to 35 minutes a game, so there's not a lot of time for a lot of guys.
Isn't that a fine line, Coach, between you're battling for a championship?
Yeah, but he makes a good point. I do have to get it. They got it. I think they're improving. But, you guys were with us when we won 27, and I didn't start DD till 3rd or 4th game in the league play. And, I think some of our guys are learning. I think some of our guys are doing better. I think, I still am in the dilemma with Jordan Hunter and, Tim Jacobs, depending on how it goes. So that's a toss-up. But I think Dan's going to play more, and I think I'll play exit the 4 a little bit more, play 4 guards. And Anthony's going to get his points when Elijah needs rest, and Elijah probably needs more rest. So we'll probably see him out there a little bit more.
Does Josh compare with, I forget the guy's name offhand, but the Oral Roberts guard? They're both two of the best scorers in the country.
Yeah.
Is Josh pretty similar to him in their game?
Yeah, I think the one thing that's, that's a great point. I think the unique thing about that is that they both can score in different variations or different ways. I mean, different ways to score, variety. They both can get to the rim. They both can make threes. They both can get fouled. The thing that's unique about Josh is he's so explosive. I mean, he's explosive. I don't know if there's. You'd have to go back, and I was thinking about it today when we were talking about it. I don't know if there's a more explosive athlete for his size that we've played against.
What do you think you guys when you guys get to Wyoming, or like when you guys played Wyoming the last few times, this just seems like it just goes to overtime no matter what,
Well, it's played at a pace that there can't be a lot of separation. So, and I just think it's we've just been evenly matched, and that's happened over the years. I think we just had evenly matched teams and had a hard time scoring on each other, and had good players, evenly matched players, and hopefully it doesn't continue. I don't know if I can sit through any more overtimes, but Larry does a great job, and their teams fight. And I'm just glad I don't have to go up there and play this year.
Could you open in a little three-quarter court pressure in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you can employ against these guys to try to speed them up a little bit?
We'll try to speed them up, and I don't know if we can. We'll try to. We'll try to do as much as we can to speed the game up and get it going. Try to get the fans involved. That's going to be, we're back home, and we got to try to take advantage of home games. So any home game we can get during the season, especially in conference season, with 9 of them, we got to take advantage of it. So we got to get them involved early. But the whole thing's going to be the first 4 minutes for us. How are we going to come out and play the first 4 minutes? If we play the first 4 minutes like we have the last few home games, we'll be in good shape. But that's part of being consistent. I think our guys are learning that.
Now, if you blow Adams up, is there anybody else they have that can really hurt you?
Yeah, I think Herndon, he's really improved. McNamee, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not for sure. McMahon, but he can really shoot it. I mean, he's a good player, solid player, plays hard. He can hurt you. They're not like guys that can't make plays. I just think he has the ball a lot. I think he's trying to make plays. So they're very capable. I think, the way they play, they're very capable. And you just got to be ready to play your game. And hopefully you can get in your tempo, which is going to be hard. But I would be shocked that we get to 60. But try to get to 75, which I don't know if that'll happen.
I know it's a real basic reason why, but from a basketball standpoint, his approach to no offensive rebounds, I mean, I think they're in the bottom 5 in the country. And how much of that is
I think it's with his
challenging to get out
team.
front?
I think it's with his team. I don't know if they were like that last year with Larry and those guys,
Not
with
quite
Cook. I think it's hard to run, but I think the biggest thing is you got to try to, your pace has to be at a high, and your energy has to be at a high, and you got to move into it quickly. Now, they're going to have guys back, but you have to run your secondary offense and get good shots as soon as you can to try to speed it up. But, they've done a good job because they get everybody back. But I think the secondary part of your offense, once you get it moving up the floor, that's when you got to take advantage or try to get something early.
So still the first 10 to 15 seconds of a possession
Yeah,
is key
not-
for this game, maybe not the first 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah, you're not. I don't think you're going to get any runouts. So I mean, I think that's the difference about playing them, and he's brought that style here, and they've been successful.
You said after the UNLV game that
Mhm.
you felt that they sped you up some, took away the ball screen. So part of growing, what adjustments do you make when you see that?
Don't run ball screens. No, I think, JJ, the biggest thing I think with our team is, and you guys have watched enough basketball and you know it. I mean, I'm not telling you that it's something you don't see. Our problem's been handling pressure. And now I think we're really good at handling pressure. I don't think we turn it over in the backcourt. I think what happens to us is once we get in the front court, then we continue to go out of control instead of just being poised and trying to run what we need to do and screen people and do things like that. So we got to do a little bit better job screening. Got a little bit, we worked a little bit more on it today fundamentally. But again, I don't think that there's been a team more prepared every game than my team the whole time I've been here. I think we go over and above preparing them. Now, do they go out and do it every game? I don't think they do that just because of the consistency and being so young. But we're going to have to do it, like you said, when they speed us up and we do break pressure without turning it over, we got to get poised and run offense better. And I think we got to work on that. But that's exactly right.
Are they maturing at the rate that you're satisfied with them? Because you already talked about they're always wanting to get better.
Yeah, the funny
Maturing
thing about
faster.
the funny thing about the whole thing is before we lost 3 in a row, I didn't really think about how young they were until everybody was trying to go, what do you expect? They're 3 sophomores, 2 juniors. You're coming off the bench with 4 freshmen before Nick left and playing 2 other sophomores. So I didn't look at it till we started having a little adversity, but now that you look at it, I think they're maturing enough. I think they're making better plays. I mean, we went from 22 to 14 in turnovers against somebody that really tried to speed us up. And, this is my opinion. I don't think the turnovers affected that game. I think our defense affected that game, if that makes any sense. I don't think the turnovers were a factor for us. Now, if you watch the game, which I've watched it several times, if you watch the first 10 minutes of the game, we had a lot of shots in there that we've made in the past. A lot of them. Had a couple layups, a couple 2-footers, a couple jump shots, a running layup that we've hit, that against Purdue we've hit. So I wasn't that concerned. We just didn't make shots, and I didn't think we guarded like we're capable of. So I think those missed shots happen. Defense, I think you got to get solid with that. But I'm happy with the way they're playing and the effort. I think they're maturing as good as they can.